Another job well done.
Check out the new lawn. That was all straw. Here's a quick before look of this lawn that we're going by now. It was turned out pretty good.
Here we are, getting ready to unload some large railroad ties, fence posts.
I'll see how this is gonna go. All right, I got chisel disc on for counterweight. I'm gonna move these steel beams and try and get at these bridge timbers and run them down to the neighbor. Probably around 3,000-ish each bundle, so we'll see how the RX is gonna do. Well, I took the camera out, took you guys out on this. It was snagged. Either that or they're heavier than I thought, but it was hung up in there a little bit. I think the end of the forks maybe. So I gotta find a parking spot for these. Try to sell these. No sense in hauling these over there if I don't have a specific use for them. All right, let's see if we busted another GoPro or not. Hey, you all right? It looks like we're still rolling. There are ants in there. All right, I got this load of timbers. Man, is there a nasty ant's nest in there? Got it pretty well centered. It's pretty hefty, but that's probably a mile and a half. Well, it's probably a couple miles down to their farm. So I got the chisel disc on back for counterweight, so I'm just going to take my time. We got a lot of downhills. I hope I don't have to go backwards. But pro tip number 467, ask me how I know. If you're new on a tractor and you got a load like this on the front and you're going downhill, first of all, keep it low, of course, okay? So if you do tip up, you just hit the ground, but also make sure you're in four-wheel drive. Because what happened to me once is I had a load on there, my first track, KIOTI, and matter of fact, let me lower this just a smidge. And I was going with it was something really long I had on the front end, and I didn't have it four-wheel drive, and the rear tires come off the ground, and I hit the brakes. I started rolling downhill literally on my front tires. I hit the brakes. They didn't work because the brakes are only on the back tires. So I quit, threw it in four-wheel drive, and it went, and the four-wheel drive kicked in, and that's what stopped me. Otherwise, until I dropped that boom, I wasn't going to stop. I still may not have, but just food for thought. Keep it low, keep it in 4-wheel drive on a downhill, and be ready to drop it if you start tipping. All right, carry on. There we go, made it out to the road. It feels fine on a decline. I'm on one of the downhill runs, and it's just fine. This RX is a beast. I'm kind of remembering now when I lifted with the skid steer. I think it was over 5,000, so this is about 2,500. Probably not 3K, but either way, that's, you know, for a tractor, that's a pretty good load. But it handles it pretty easily, so I imagine it'll probably go, you know, 3,500 or better maybe. That's the beauty of living on a dead-end road. I didn't even need one car. Probably, you know, like I said, probably our driveway is almost a mile, and then the road's probably a couple more miles. This is where I helped them out with the grass. Oh, look at that new lawn. That looks pretty. We'll check that on our way by. Check out the new lawn. That was all straw. Boy, that worked out nice. Of course, we got pummeled with rain, and I believe he fertilized it. But here's a quick before look of this lawn that we're going by now. We had to move a lot of dirt. It may not look like it, but we had to move a lot of dirt to get rid of this rock garden. Turned out pretty good for, you know, just for a couple of hacks. Living farm life, country living. Nice. Instructions. Last time I took a left at the next field, but he said keep going straight. There's another gate I got to go through, and then he's got a couple logs on the ground ready for it. It is so peaceful seeing horses and cows just grazing out in the field. That's everything we planted last time, all nice new green grass. Alright, there's the next gate. That's going to go in the woods, it looks like. That's where we planted and scabbed all the dirt in those two fields down there. There's the logs right there. Let's see how this is gonna go. Oh, there's a house or something back there. I never knew that, or the campground. Those might be. Move these in a little closer, just to be sure. one and somebody came, not necessarily rip it, but come around a blind curve, and she could have got impaled by that left fork there. I mean, I was ready to, hit the ditch with the tractor, but she saw me in time. But with an empty load now, I'm gonna leave them forks up. Command decision. All right, I got the second batch.
Here we are at Short's place, getting ready to unload some large railroad ties for fence posts. Yep, another job well done.
All right, I got a couple more bridge timbers back here behind the pond that I was going to use for the bridge that I never finished. So I sold all of them. I'm going to grab these with the small tractor and bring them up to the front. And our horse farm neighbor, Derek's going to come back during the week and pick up a bunch of Sharon cedar trees that she had peeled in that. So let's see how this is going to go grabbing these. So being out by the pond here and finishing up this mini project, it makes me think a lot. So we're moving from this farm and we're moving to our new Missouri farm. We're getting more acreage. It should be more private than even this place, but we're going to get less pond. We've got about 3 acres of pond here that we've been developing big bass, big bluegill, big catfish that we literally have underutilized because we stay busy. But the Missouri farm's only got 1 pond right now that's, I think I mapped it like less than a ½ acre. So although I do hope to add to it, the way the ground lays out on the Missouri farm, I can double that size, minimally, because the slope is pretty good, but that's a lot of digging. I mean, to build a pond dam like this, it's a lot of work. I mean, moving dirt, even, 20 feet is a lot of work, and trying to get a core trench and all that. So anyways, that's just like pretty much the only drawback that I can think of, honestly, for moving over to Missouri is we're going to lose our beautiful view of our 2 ponds, right below our deck here. But, hey, you got to take the good with the bad, and the farm over there is just stunning. I mean, in the Ozarks, beautiful hill country, dead-end road, mile-long private drive till you get to the house, where here we got, between half and 3/4, almost 3/4 mile long drive. So, food for thought, but you know what? Unless you're a bazillionaire, which we are not, you have to make concessions here and there. So we'll take it one step at a time. So I'm going to just drop these last couple of timbers up by the front, and Derek's going to come and take a bunch of Sharon's cedar trees and try to put them to use on some wood projects. So that's it for this weekend's vlog video. Lots going on. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you having on board. Have a great Memorial Day. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks a lot.